So one thing I want to spend a little bit time on is learning how to obtain GIS data using a variety of portals. So in this first example, I want to talk a little bit about how to obtain aerial information for our example Marlett Park site. So in this example, we will use the Kansas Data and Access Support Center, sometimes called DASC, to obtain most of the data. There may be websites similar to DASC in your area you are researching. Data Access and Support Center DASC is located at www.kansasgis.org. The site requires an account in order to download data. So if you don't log into the site, it'll allow you to view stuff, but it won't let you download anything. So you will need to create an account and log in. I will let you know that I've never been spammed from DASC before, and from my understanding, they need you to create an account so that they can continue to get funding to continue to provide this kind of resource to people like us who do a lot of GIS type work. So you're definitely going to want to create an account so that you can kind of support this Data Access and Support Center site and to allow them to continue to provide this valuable resource. Once you log in, click on the Catalog button to begin browsing your data. So over here on the left side, there's the Catalog button. The other thing I want to mention is their site doesn't really change too much, so this tutorial may stay valid for a little while. Once the page loads, I'm going to be looking on the left side, and I want to locate the Imagery and Rasters section. So over here where it says Imagery and Rasters, notice there's a little plus symbol to the left of it. So if you're rolling your cursor over the text, you may not find the link, which means that you'll actually need to go to the left of the text to expand out the plus symbol. So I'll go ahead and expand out the plus symbol. So immediately we see different types of formats here that we can work with. And one of the things that we may want to pay attention to is the fact that aerials information can come in the format of a Mr. SID. We sometimes call it Mr. SID. It's basically a SID file. And that stands for Multi-Resolution Seamless Image Database. And usually it has the file extension of SID. So Mr. SID was originally developed for GIS and allows you to quickly view aerial and satellite imagery without having to decompress the entire file, which is kind of convenient for us. So over here across the top here we have several tabs, and one of those tabs across the top is called File Downloads. So I'll just go ahead and click on that. So if you notice, it says if there are file downloads available, they will appear here. You must be logged into the website to download files. Over here on the left side, I actually need to choose a format. So we have several formats going on here. So you can click on each one of these up here and it'll give you a preview, or at least a data description of each of the different types of data here. So we have digital, ortho, photo by counties, and it's describing here that there are some Mr. SIDs in here. So I'm just going to kind of click through each of these, and I think what I'm going to be interested in here are the NAPE files. I'm going to go to File Download to get kind of a preview of what is there. Looks like we have several Mr. SIDs, and they're listed by year. And usually the one that you want to download, well, you want it to match up with all of your other data. So I happen to know that my LiDAR data is dated back in 2006, so I probably want my 2006. And sometimes you may find that that's a little bit too old, and again, it really depends on your project. Since our particular project involves Marlett Park, and it's kind of a conservation or type of site where not too much change has happened to it over the years, 2006 would probably work for us. But if it's a place where you know there's a lot of development that has occurred there, 2006 may be a little bit too old. You may want to go with 2014. So if I click on download files, it'll take me to this imagery raster area where you can see the different files here that you can click on. So we have two folders here. It says first delivery, and we have second delivery, and then Kansas 2006 NAEP index. So if I click on that, it'll allow me to download a zip file, and it will likely contain, let's just go ahead and just download that into my projects. And I'll put it inside Marlin Park. And again, this needs to go into my source directory. So we're in Dask. I'm working with aerials. I'm just going to save it here. I'll click Show in Folder. And then maybe I'll make a new folder and I'll call this Index. Because remember all of these little companion files that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier? I don't want them to get mixed up with that one. So I'll put it inside there. I'll right click here and then extract. And then this is going to give me a tile reference of how this aerial information is kind of laid out, and you could probably find exactly where your project site is located at within a tile reference. So if I go to first delivery, we can see that things are actually listed by county, conveniently for us. So we could probably look for Riley County. I bet MN stands for Manhattan. Well, there's Riley County. So if we wanted the aerial information for the entire county of Riley, we could do that. And we can see by looking at our ArcMap document that we already have that information. So if I drag this layer all the way up towards the top, we can see that we've already downloaded this. And I think I actually downloaded the 10,000 or the 2010 version. So notice how it's drawing each and every single layer. So that is our aerial for the entire Raleigh County area. And you can see a lot of our data is coming in that format. It's kind of convenient to just do it that way. A lot of places will do it by county. Okay, going back to our website here. I'm going to scroll up towards the top. I'm going to go back to my parent directory. Let's see what second delivery. So they probably did this in batches, and it looks like this one is dated in 2007. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to here.